Ladies and gentlemen, here we are in game with Center versus Hurricane. Are you ready? Because in the lower left hand corner of the map is our blue town player from MVP. It's Center. And in the upper right hand corner, the red Protoss player from Samsung Galaxy. It's Hurricane. Probably, well, okay, I won't give you guys any Pro League spoilers from this morning, but he played what can only be described as a pretty crazy game. Probably the best game of the day in Pro League against Innovation this morning, so let's see how he does here against Center. Again, Overgrowth, our first map. Varney Research Station will be second, and Catalina map number 3 if necessary. I'm kind of intrigued to see how Hurricane is going to open up here. Generally, I think it's going to be Hurricane who pulls out, who's going to be the dictator of whether we see something very interesting at the start of the game or something very standard. I mean, Center probably just going to go for a Reaper Expand, and from the Reaper Expand, he's going to go, okay, he's going to put down a barracks. And from the Reaper Expand, I mean, he can go into a factory and a mine drop, or he can just go into a free barracks play, either or, but they're both fairly standard, whereas Hurricane, it's up to him to kind of show us whether he wants to take an expansion, whether he wants to just play one base, which is a little less common nowadays, or whether, again, there's so many possibilities as a prospect. You can proxy a Stargate, you can hide a DT Shrine, there's so much you can do, open Blink. Blink not the best on this map, but still maybe a possibility. I mean, it's not the best, but you can kind of use it, sort of, not really though. I mean, maybe if you're in Diamond League like me, you do die to people who come down here and then blink into your main base and you don't realise, and yeah, it was sad. I don't know why, man, it was like my first time playing in a while, and I was like, I was in this spawn, and I was like, why is it going Blink? It's such a bad map for Blink. And it really is a bad map for Blink, because if I have one bunker here, you can't do anything. Anyways, let's stop talking about my ladder woes and start talking about the game, because we do have that first Reaper on the way, and we're about to find out what kind of build Center wants to go for by seeing whether he pulls out of gas or not. And he's going to mine over 50, and he will actually start pulling out. So it looks like he just wants to go straight into free barracks here, nice and quickly. Going to pull an SCV down to the low ground as well to build that command center, and everything going good for him right now. Just a very standard opening for our Terran player. He has Zealot on the way here by Hurricane. But does get cancelled at the last moment to make a Nexus. It's not too crazy there, pretty much as you would expect. Yeah, Reaper coming across the map now to do a little bit of scouting. So I mean, the Zealot's just a very standard thing. You keep it in building just in case anything's blocking your natural. When you see there isn't, you cancel it. You get that 100 minerals. You build a Nexus. Same old story. So Reaper doesn't actually pop in towards the main here. He sees the Nexus and he knows that's enough for now to know that it's just a pretty standard expansion, probably off of a single gas. And he's not got too much to worry about here. We do see a pylon coming up though for Hurricane at this gold base, and I'd imagine this is going to be a Stargate coming down for him in the fairly near future, and this is something which the Reaper could have cottoned onto. I mean, there's only 2 pylons in the main base, and that's something he definitely could have seen if he went all the way in, although I guess it's a little bit risky with the mothership core so nearby. So he decided not to, and I guess, I mean, it's not that big of a deal because the Stargate coming down here is, not that important compared to the Stargate being here. It'll hit, and an Oracle will hit a little bit sooner, but it's not that much of a difference. The Reaper's going to try and come back in now, and it will go past this mothership core, and we'll actually just turn away again. So not too interested in, he's not overly bothered about whether he actually manages to scout this or not for now. The Reaper just going to take the watchtower here. Stargate on the way up, just over halfway done, and this probe just sitting on this left-hand tower as well. Pretty nice map control actually for Hurricane. He has both the towers right now. This Reaper is oh so close to actually spotting that Stargate on the way up at those gold minerals, but doesn't quite get it. And it comes over towards the third base now, still not committed into that main base to try and scout or anything. And the first Oracle now on the way. Stalker going to intercept this Reaper, and with a second Stalker and mothership core here, again the Reaper will just have to turn around, not going to find a way in. And we do see an engineering bay on the way up, so we've got Stimpack started. Very standard. I mean, we are in 3 barracks here. I mean, it was just that very standard follow-up from centre. So Stimpack started now. Engineering Bay begins, and he starts at +1 as well. And he's going to be able to go pop his factory down in the next few moments. He has that. I imagine that's what his next 100 gas is going to be spent on here. Oracle pops out, and it will begin to head towards that main base, where I believe there's a turret being made. No, is that the natural? Yes, it's the natural. So the main base, a little bit unprotected, but there's some Marines starting to get into position to deal with this. And they should be able to deal with this pretty easily. And Hurricane taking a fair amount of damage on this first Oracle, not able to do too much with it, picks off a single Marine and then turns away to get out of there, but lost a lot of hit points there, over half of its hit points as well as all of the shields. Coming towards the natural, will actually find its first SCV of the game, moves towards that turret a little bit too far though and takes a little bit more damage. Very risky stuff right now for Hurricane. Now Oracle going to have to back off for a while where it regains its shields. Rubber facility coming down, double forge as well. And you know, this kind of build has been more and more popular lately for Protoss players. You know, we had it be so popular in the past, double forge builds, but they kind of fell out of fashion simply because you know, SCV pulls became so prominent in this matchup, and it is a great way of punishing you, SCV pulling against double forge. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. This Oracle does just escape here, as the Stalkers are going to come in towards the natural and may be able to pick off an SCV or two. This is kind of nice little bit of harassment here, pretty you know, it's really nice. Finally, Marines do stim forwards here, and will chase these away, but they can't chase them too far unless they use another stim, and they will not want to do that because the medevacs are a little way away from being out here, and they're going to want to wait until they're finished, until they really start stimming too much. Reactor finishes up here, and Starport will drop onto that factory right now, as +1 about finish as well as the centre's upgrade is looking pretty good too. As Hurricane falling back across the map. Sentry is out here for Hurricane, and Observer coming out of that robot facility as well. Extended thermal lance has begun, so expecting to see Colossus production beginning here. He's actually just a little bit supply blocked, which is why we don't see this Colossus coming out just yet. So that's a little bit annoying, and we'll delay his first Colossus, which could be a little bit of a deal breaker here. When this first push comes in, you know, having 2 Colossi against 1 can be a big difference. And this push is about to come across the map right now. First 2 medevacs about to pop out to strengthen this. As this Oracle picking off a couple of Marines which are just out and about on the map scouting. Still really good map control for Hurricane. I mean, he's going to pull back with this probe right now. He does have an observer as well in position here, so he'll be able to see this army moving by. And where is Center going to go? He's actually moving towards a position where he looks as though he wants to come in towards the 3rd base. Starting to add some mines on into his production now. And apart from that, not really doing anything else. No 3rd base to be seen from him, no extra barracks. Just sticking on 3 racks for now, as there's +1 armor is coming up here very shortly as well. First Colossus out, but there's plenty of gateway units down here on the ground as well, and they shouldn't really be able to do too much. There's force fields available also, and again, Center will just back away from this. I think smart choice here, and he does load up a drop. A couple of medevacs do come up, but it looks as though they're just going to be used to reinforce this initial push. They're heading towards the same kind of directions where the army is standing right now. Great observer placement though by Hurricane. I mean, he sees everywhere this army is going at this point in time, and he's going to drop the 3rd Nexus as well, feeling very safe. Center has spotted that Stargate, something he could try and take down, but I think he's going to try and drop in towards the main base while also trying to hit the 3rd. These medevacs are going to come up to the top left corner for now, and Hurricane just moving around with his army, unsure where exactly he wants to position it, as the 3rd base for Center denied by a Zealot. And that's a pretty nice little move by Hurricane there, as these medevacs actually going to get in towards the natural. A very interesting place to put the drop in. So he's going to put it into the natural. This army is pretty well positioned here. The mines are burrowed in the back. He's going to send a couple of probes to 2 of them. At the same time, this army moving around the left-hand side. There is an army positioned at the 3rd base, though. I don't think Santa's going to be able to get too much damage done here at all. He unpowers the gate, the Stargate. That's about it. Surprised it doesn't kill off completely, just to get rid of that. Oracle coming in and has not done too much more damage here, and does get killed off by those Marines at this 3rd base. And these medevacs now coming down the left-hand side. So Center just falling back with pretty much everything right now, and this army still around the middle, just still kind of sitting around the middle of the map, just trying to assert as much map control as he can. Armory's been very late here for Center, and that's actually quite a big issue for him, because I mean, his +1/+1 was done very early, but his +2/+2 has been so delayed here. That's a big shame, especially with 2-2 of the Protoss player coming up as well. That early double forge really going to be starting to pay off here for our Protoss. He's going to be able to go straight into 3-3 as well, of course. Blink about to finish 2, which will help defending drops. Drops such as this one coming in towards the main base right now. A scan comes towards the third. Sees that army there, and again, only a single Colossus, whereas the rest of the army actually positioned in the main base. And he's going to send another Colossus towards the third base. And Center thinking about whether he wants to fight this or not. He will stim in. He's just going to go for the Nexus, or is he going to go for the army? What's he going to do? The second Colossus is here at the same time. Army is ready to go in towards the main base in their medevacs. I don't think Center's really getting that much done here at all. He's going to actually start backing off. Zealot Warbin actually blocks some of them units from retreating. As here we go in towards the main. Mines will begin to burrow here. They'll add quite a bit to the DPS, especially against these Zealots, but all 3 of them, okay, just 2 of the 3 go off on the Zealots here initially. And this Colossus and Stalker army will be able to clean up the rest of it. And at the same time, Center being pushed back to the left-hand side. Hurricane shutting this down with a lot of ease right now, as these medevacs to the right are going to fall back as well. So Center losing a lot there. In terms of resources lost, you can see it was a very well defended drop by Hurricane. He sits at 2.3k loss to 3.6k right now, as Viking production has begun for our Terran player. I'm just going to start racking up that Viking count. I mean, the drops have done a great job of keeping Hurricane on his side of the map, and that means if he's on his side of the map, it means he can't move across, and it means that Center has a long time to build up a good, strong Viking count here, which is basically what he's just been waiting for. 2-2 on the way for him, halfway done now, and 3-3 was very delayed by our Protoss player. Hurricane took a while to start that up, and just adding on some gateways now. A lot of extra gateways coming down here, yet to see a Templar Archives or any kind of tech switch come in from our Protoss. He's sitting on 4 Colossi, that's about to be 5. And that Templar Archives does now come in, so finally finding the opportunity to begin the tech switch here. Quite often we'd see that come in a little bit earlier, but that being said, it's not so weird nowadays to see a lot more Colossi just being made initially, and then kind of adding the Templar Archives on a lot later. I mean, it's so great against SCV pulse for etc. As Center right now is moving up this side of the map, this left-hand side, and Hurricane may very well commit to a fight here, as Center's not really ready to fight. I don't really think he wants to, and both players do disengage from this. The Stalkers blade blunk forward there, and they did pick off a single medevac. Little pickoffs like that will just continue to give slight advantages here to Hurricane, as Center falling back himself, and he does actually find this probe here, shuts that down, and also sees his power into the left-hand side, a little bit further up the map. We'll be able to pick this one off as well. So nice shutting down the power here very nicely. We've got a couple of Zealots coming along the right-hand side. They may very well end up in this third base mineral line, as both players approach being maxed out here. Again, Hurricane is not going to be looking for a fight until that 3-3 finishes, but that's going to be very, very soon, especially if he's going to be Chrono Boosting it, which he has been. And moving forwards now, this is not a good place to fight for Center. He wants to fight in a little bit more of a concave. And just falling back for now, he's actually pulling some SCVs. As Zealots hit the third base as well. In fact, he's just going to pull all his SCVs and just go for this, or he needs to be so careful. Vikings are going to get a good start to this fight though. They pick off the Colossus and the Mothership Core, which are in the front, and that's actually a really great beginning to this fight here. Center's going to continue pushing forwards. Next Colossus will go down, second Colossus down, third Colossus is going to go down very quickly. These Zealots are all clumped up now. There's a much better fight for Center than it is for Hurricane. All the Colossi go down, there's Archons remaining. And, well, 30 SCVs have been killed. There's a lot of army left over for our Terran player. He'll begin moving forwards now and look to try and push Hurricane back and maybe just try, well, he basically has to win the game because he's thrown away so many SCVs in taking that first initial fight. There's a lot of Archons mixed in here, and that 3-3 will make them very beefy along with these Zealots. I mean, 3-3 Zealots are so powerful. Warp Prism getting intercepted here and will not get taken down. So, I mean, if this game goes on, that Warp Prism may very well be very useful, as the third base will fall here very quickly. And again, Zealots are going to start charging in, but they're actually stuck behind the Stalkers here. And that's going to be some free damage done by Center once again, as we looks like we might finally have this fight start to happen. A lot of Zealots still just getting taken down basically for free. Zealots in this third base mineral line as well. Reinforcements are going to begin coming in though, and they will clean this up. 2 Zealots go down, the third gets away. Scan comes down, reveals this base to the right hand side, and that's going to be Center's next target. You know, if he wants to keep in this game, he's going to have to keep denying economy of his opponent, and well, he needs to kind of turn around and fight this or something, because right now he's just taking free damage. Another Colossus is back on the map right now. Another one being made in production, as it looks as though, I mean, 5 Vikings is okay against a single Colossus, and seeing this now, Center, I think, may very well leap at the opportunity to take this fight. The Archons are the real problem though. Without Ghosts, they are just going to be so tanky, and of course with them that upgrade advantage as well, things are still looking pretty damn good for Hurricane here. In game number 1 of this best of 3, our second match of the day of the SC2 Improve Winter Series. 2 more medevacs, 4 Marauders being added on. And I think that's just another Zealot getting caught off there. As SCV pull once again. Not too many SCVs being added in here. Just a handful of them. So Zealot's going to get taken out by that little clump of Marines, and Center going to move forwards and try and take down this base. 2 Colossi out. I mean, the Archons are still the real talking point here, I think, of this army, but the Zealots are all trapped in behind the Stalkers there, and that's not going to be a good start at all for Hurricane to this fight, but is it going to matter right now? He is crushing through this army. The Archons just go kind of completely uncontested. The Colossus as well, one of them sitting in the back here, and is going to be able to help clean this up. All of these units are going to start going down, and Center will type out GG Hurricane.